The structure mostly stayed the same. The biggest changes were down at the rotor. There's a plate that comes out of two poles that are towed into the arm, so that holds the gearbox onto the arm.
With the new controller, it's all electrical, modifying how much power gets to each rotor.
The gearboxes are basically comprised of 4 stages of actual gears, another 5 stages of 3D printed parts. We are able to output a very high RPM from our motor, which then translate down to our bottommost gear.
The blades didn't change at all from HPH to solar. We just kept maintaining them and retesting in between flights. So the blades work by Bernoulli's law, with a low pressure zone on top, high pressure zone on the bottom of the blade, being developed through the airfoil. Our airfoils are made of foam and then covered with mylar to keep them smooth. And we use a carbon fiber spar in the center of the blade to keep it stiff.
Okay, so essentially how the solar panels work are we have on each arm is 40 solar cells, and that creates a panel. And right here I have a monocrystalline solar cell, and the leads that come off the front on the blue side are negative, and then the sides that come off the gray side on the back are positive. So we create, with the 40 solar cells, essentially the tabbing wire goes from the back of the solar cell to the front to the back, and that creates our series pattern. With our BOLA connectors on each ends of the panel, that's connected to an aluminum wire, and that essentially puts the 3 panels that were in series, puts them all together in parallel. All of the cells are soldered by hand. Essentially, you can see here the tabbing wire that comes off the front. We had to solder each one of these individually. So to create one cell, that requires 6 different soldering occasions. So it's definitely very tedious and a lot of time consuming, but it's definitely paid off and was well worth it.
Just being able to see the helicopter take off in the air for the first time and having the understanding that all this energy, power was generated 8 minutes ago from the sun, that was probably my favorite moment.
We wake up at 5 a.m. and we have to set up all of our work, hoping that it's going to work. And we've gone out on the field so many times, and we've had trial and error, and it's just so nice to see that everything has finally come together and we finally took off.
Once we took off and we came back down and everyone started clapping and applauding, it was a really good feeling for me, knowing that I could be part of this and I could actually make an impact on this project and be able to brag about it in a sense.
It's very validating that we've gotten it to fly. So I've been on the team for just over 2 years now, and it's a lot of work. But now that it's flown, it feels like it's all worth it.
So we finally got in the air, and I'm sitting there and this thing's trying to fly away from me, and I actually had to bring it back down because it was about to escape and try to keep flying. So that was the highlight of forever.
I felt really accomplished. I felt like we put all this work into putting something together. We went through a bunch of iterations and having to put things together and having to come up with different solutions until finally what was in theory thought to work the first time ended up working, and it was amazing.